funsupermart.com.
Asia saw remarkable growth and significant political changes in 2014. Mr. Rahul Chadha, Co-Chief Investment Officer of Mirae Asset Global Investments, shares with us his views. The Asian market did not perform too well in 2014. Japan even slipped into recession in the third quarter. What is your view on Asia's fundamentals?
I think Asia's fundamentals are much better now than they were at the beginning of this year. We all know the challenges the region is going through. Japan has the challenges on the demographic front. China needs to rebalance from an investment-led economy to a consumption-led economy. Korea and Taiwan are facing competition from China, trying to do what they did to Japan, to Korea and Taiwan themselves. So I think each of these regions has their own set of challenge. But the positive things during the year were India, Modi's success in India, the formation of a credible government over there, the steps government's taking to kickstart investment in the economy and to revive growth. A success was Indonesia, where we again saw Jokowi coming to power, an example of people voting for development and good governance rather than a caste or religion. So I think these are positives. And what's happened in last couple of months is a big positive, where we've seen oil correct by close to $40. There's a huge amount of economic surplus which was being transferred over the last 10 years to the commodity producers, which is going to be harvested by commodity consuming economies in Asia, as a result of which we believe that the demand should rebound in next year, next couple of quarters, and we should see central banks kind of help this demand revival by sharp interest rate cuts. So we remain extremely positive on the markets here on. Valuations have become a lot more attractive post the recent corrections and would encourage investors to add to their positions in the Asian equities.
What markets are you bearish or bullish on in 2015?
Yeah, so like the way I said, we remain bullish on 2015. We're seeing growth kind of a bottom. Growth recovery is going to happen. Governments realize that there are issues with each of these economies. Each of the governments is showing pragmatic leadership to handle these problems. And we see a monetary tailwind also taking place because real interest rates in Asia are fairly high. So unlike developed world where real interest rates are negative, we expect anywhere between 150 to 300 bips of rate reduction across regional economies. So I think over next 2 years. So I think that should be positive for growth basically.
With the strengthening of the USD and the US economy, how do you think the Asian market will be affected in 2015?
Clearly, with the US strength, we clearly believe that the focus would remain on quality. Focus would remain on strong balance sheets, companies with very little dollar debt. But at the same time, it's not the end of the world because we've got Bank of Japan, which is doing the second round of QE. We've got ECB, which is printing money. So there's going to be enough liquidity in the world, but it's not going to be easy money. Governments, companies which do the necessary things to pull up their socks, to stay competitive, to stay credible, will be able to attract investors, will be able to attract new funding. And the liquidity is going to be a lot more choosy, a lot more wary of businesses, countries it wants to back it.
As more pro-growth national leaders come into play, what is the investment case for Asia going forward? How can investors harness the multi-year growth themes in Asia?
Asia is home to close to half of the world's population, and we see as pro-growth leaders coming in Asia, whether it's again India, Indonesia, or progressive leadership in China. We believe that some of these kind of handicaps the region had in terms of bureaucratic issues get solved. We've seen a good cabinet from Modi's government in India, and the government is doing the necessary steps towards the ease of doing business in India. Modi government's mantra is minimal government for maximum governance. So you're seeing removal of some of these bureaucratic labor hassles in India, passage of reforms like goods and service tax or FDI insurance, which is likely to happen in the next couple of months. Similarly, in Indonesia, you've seen the first positive step from the new Jokowi-led government in terms of reduction of the fuel subsidies. In China, we see continuation of steps towards a market economy, encouraging more private sector competition. We're seeing steps towards capital account convertibility. The Hong Kong-Shanghai Connect is a step towards eventual capital account convertibility in China. So a lot of these are positive steps. And I think these steps, along with monetary easing, with falling inflation, should accelerate growth in 2015 for the Asian region.